Testing. Yep. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Yes, Wag Trader, you were first. You were first. Then we had Sandollar, then Money Lisa. Good morning to all of you. Good morning, Gary, Devin, Lalit, Evis, Michael, Raphael, Steven, Purple Mango, good name. Lona, Matt Means, Josh Powers, brother of Kenny Powers. Good morning, Sonia. Good morning, Timotheus. Good morning, Cameron. Good morning, Gabriella. Good morning, Ashley. Good morning, Supreme Trade. Good morning, Mel. Good morning, Joel. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So just to jump into things, I had already kind of just added this last night before I got off. And all I added was the previous day low. I added the wick and the meat, and I did the same thing to the top here, combined with the bigger time frame level. I just kind of highlighted the areas to combine them. Previous day close down to a bigger time frame level. And I posted this. I'll show you. I posted this last night in the trade floor where everyone can see. You don't even have to be a paying member to see this. But I posted this last night, and I said these are the levels for tomorrow so far. You know, so just kind of watch these general areas, look above 391.10. This could be kind of an in-between pivot point that could be traded by both sides. And then this could be really good for puts. So I posted that, and then you can see later this morning, it's in the same range. So we're good. We don't have to even really plan much else for SPY. Let me go to the bigger time frame first. The big thing to look out for is if we do break 388, the question remains, can we hold 386.20s? And this is all typed out here from yesterday's Power Hour stream. So if you weren't here, be sure to tune into that. But this is essentially what we went over. Good morning, Rico, Carolina, David, Zaytoven, Boo Boo, Diver, Big Lou. Good morning to each and every one of you. Glad to have you guys in here. Thanks for tuning in on this Friday. Glad to see everybody's awake and ready, even if it's a Friday. But again, the ultimate level is 386.20s. So if we break this, keep your eyes on this level. If we break this, we're going to at least... Now remember, take this with caution. We might at least see the middle of this range. I'm not going to say all the way to 380. So, you know, maybe like 383, 384, aim for there if 386 breaks. If not, though, also look for a possible bounce. We could get a really good bounce from here or here. Fill this gap from the previous day's gap down right here. We could go fill that gap. And we could even go back into the top of that gap, 392. And over that, we have 394, 396, and the 400 area that we fell from. And this is, again, all typed out here just in case anybody was wondering. And open is key. The open is very key today. But it looks like we're going to be opening relatively flat. We are a little bit higher than yesterday's close. We closed about here yesterday. I think it was Netflix, right? How did Netflix hold up? I know they went up, but... Okay, they're still holding up pretty well. That's not bad. But as you can see, though, we are relatively flat. We haven't really moved anywhere, so that's good. This is good for both sides. This can help out anybody looking to get out of plays or jump into a new play for a scalp today. These will be really, really good day trade plans. But give me a thumbs up or a yes or a yeah or, you know, literally anything to let me know you understand what we're looking for today on SPY. I covered the bigger time frame real quick. I covered the smaller time frame. The levels are pretty much set from last night and from Power Hour, basically. But give me some sort of confirmation that you understand what we're looking for. Someone just goes in there, nope, don't understand a single word. Harumph. So that's pretty much what we're looking for, though. Which, as you guys can see, this, even though this is the smaller time frame levels, everything that we're kind of looking for kind of lines up again. You know, 388's there, the 386 is there, the 391 is there before seeing the higher levels near 393, 394. You know, so everything's here. So we'll probably just stick on this chart today. But let's go through a couple others. Let's see if we can find anything we like. 5 day, 5 minutes, so I can zoom in a little better. And you can see we got kind of the same setup here for Apple too. Kind of need to get past this area for a break above. Got our previous day close. Ooh, that could be a really good short-term break below right here. Probably do the pre-market low, like the meat of it right here. 135.15ish. Previous day open, previous day low. So they got a pretty close short-term break below level already. So we'll see if Apple brings in some early seller pressure in the morning. Microsoft, why is my list all out of place? Oh, I think I'm on the different one. Previous day close ends up lining up with that bigger time frame level. We got previous day open, previous day high, previous day low. Meat of yesterday high, meat of yesterday low. Previous day opens like right here. We'll leave it though because 94, 95 area is like literally right there, and that's a better break above. Previous day close, a little bit down here. Tesla's going to be a good one again. That looks really good above that area. And then to the downside, you could just wait for 127. Yeah, 127, because you got previous day open and previous day close there. That'll be a very strong support until broken. Previous day low. Yeah, we're definitely going to add Tesla to the list today. Ooh, Meta's looking pretty good too. Did I clear this right? Yeah, there's just a lot of levels here. All of them are marked. Previous day high, close, the open's almost there, so might as well leave it. That looks really good though. We'll come back and see if we want to add that to the list or not. Google, of course, up after hours. Communication service stock. I'm pretty sure that's also from them laying people off. It's from Netflix doing good for the first part, and then this is probably from them laying people off. Which I know that's counterintuitive. You'd think, oh, that's going to go down. Nope. Previous day open, previous day close, previous day low. So under 67.20s, AMD looks good. Above 69 and 69.40, it looks good. Meet of previous day high, meet of previous day low, which also almost lines up with the previous day close. Very strong level there. We got previous day open. So they look good above pre-market high at about 170. You have 170 50s in the way, and then you have the previous day high. But that one doesn't look too bad. Netflix, of course, they're going to have very high IV for the next couple days as it cools off a little. Pre-market high on Square is not a bad find. 71.89 basically. This is under the previous day close, and this is the previous day open. So under 70.80, that can get some selling pressure starting. You also have 70.30s in the way, and the previous day low. Okay, yeah, that's the watch list that doesn't have spot or BA. So let's add a couple. Let's add Tesla. I think I like that one the most. Above 130, target. I didn't even look. 131.50, 133.50. Below 127, target 126, 25, 24.30. You know what? I'll just leave that. If I need to come back to it, I will. How did the rest of these look? Apple, that was looking a little rough. Basically looking at past 136.20s, 136.70s, or under 135 for short-term bears. But you have so much room down here. You can almost just say wait till 134, but we'll have to see how that one works. Basically, though, even if... All right, so that's another thing. Do you guys ever look at this stuff and you're like, oh, you know, I don't like it because I don't think it looks good for a play. You know, but it's not just about that. You know, you should still set your levels because let's say Apple tanks under 135, tanks under 134 throughout the first, let's say, 20 minutes, right? What is that? What kind of signal is that going to tell you for the overall market? It's going to tell you there's a lot more bearish pressure here because... There's a lot of weighted tickers like Apple selling off throughout the first 20 minutes, right? So it's not just good for looking for a play. You should also mark these charts up because you want to be able to navigate the markets, to be able to call out, okay, wow, look, Apple and Microsoft, Amazon, Tesla, they're all selling the first 10 minutes. Market's most likely coming down. You know, you should be able to notice that, you know, and let's say you go back to your sectors, healthcare's not holding up, nothing's holding up, and you see these selling off. Well, then you could tell that they're leading the market down. You know, so it's not just always like, oh, I have to mark this up. I need to catch a play under 231.90s or a play over 233.70s. Like, no, you could also just use this to help you out in picking up the strength of whatever sector you're looking at or whatever part of SPY. Amazon doesn't look too bad. It's pretty much above 95 or under 93.60s, but I don't want to add a second discretionary ticker there right after Tesla. Those are the same sector. Meta does look pretty good for more downside. If they can't hold back above these 136.40s, pretty much where the previous day closes and this bigger time frame level is, this actually does look good for more downside. We're doing video. Above 170.60 target. 171.50 above. Below. It's a tricky one. Going every dollar because it's already a pretty significant drop to that level. So if they get more sellers under that level, it's not like they're going to go a mile. Square, I'm not even going to put that on the list. I don't want to confuse people. This one's a little bit harder to trade, I won't lie. Let's try to find at least one more that we like. Maybe I will add Apple. Yeah, screw it, let's add Apple. Alright, let me send this list to everybody so everybody has it. Let's go to SPY and I'll send a little chart with it. People seem to be enjoying that, so we'll go ahead and do that. Alright, everybody should have the list now on Discord. You guys clearly have it on YouTube because we're here streaming it. Let me make sure. Alright, y'all have my literal entire intention. Who did I say? Who did I miss? Good morning, good morning, good morning. I think I got most of you. Good morning if I didn't say good morning to you. I really do like to say good morning to everybody. I like to welcome anybody and everybody. What's up, Justin? What's up, Mel? No, I'm not doing a bell-to-bell stream. Sorry about that. Why is Spaces canceled today? That sucks. Good morning, King Cabina. Good morning, Steve. Good morning, Diana. Good morning, Priscilla. Jesus, over 200 people? We still have like 20-something minutes before open. Y'all are insane. I get a ton of notifications every time you post something. Good morning, JB. Good morning, Troy Taylor. Good morning, Bing Bong. Good morning, Jake. Thoughts on Google? Yeah, why not? We're just sitting here, right? Well, I already looked at it. I wouldn't touch this with a stick today. They're going to have high IV after that huge jump. Now, This is mainly from the jobs numbers that came out today for Google. They're cutting people, so that's why this is up today. A big thing, though, is I wouldn't be surprised if this returned back to yesterday's range. Now, that doesn't mean just start grabbing puts. I really wouldn't touch that today. Jordan has no power on his boat? Oh, okay. And yeah, drop a like on the stream, guys. Definitely appreciate that. I see a few of you trying to force that. Short session for me today. No school for kids. Hey, totally fine, man. No, I don't use futures. If you've been in any of my streams, you've never seen me look up the futures. You can use my style of trading for futures. It's not like everything we do here is just abstract to only, you know, equities. You can use this for futures. You can use this for Bitcoin. You can use this for Forex. And I've seen people do it. I have a guy in chat, Rowdy and Daffy. Both those dudes use it for Forex. Devin and a few other people in my chat, or as you know him, Nerdy Bicep, use them for futures. You know, so it's really use it for whatever you need. Good morning, Spicy Pepper. Good morning, Green Candlestick. What's up, man? Look, Kumar is saying it too. Good morning, Kumar. Kumar. 999 likes. Backtesting on Forex marking levels. Nice. Yes, OPEX does affect a few things. Shouldn't affect as much, though. What time is it out today? Or did it already happen? I would watch oil when that happens, but overall, I wouldn't really pay too much attention to it. Shouldn't really be looking to trade a crazy amount anyway. It's Friday. I would literally stick to just catching a couple scalps a day or just one. There's no need to. Excuse me, I'm like dying over here. There's no need to go crazy today. We had a really good week, guys. Don't blow it. Is pretty much what I'm trying to say. Especially in here, if you've been in here the entire week on the short week, we've had an amazing week. Finishing that sandwich, that morning sandwich hits different. How do I get the setup where I click on a ticker and it loads automatically in the TOS chart? You have to click this here, the symbol link. You have to make them the same symbol link. So when I click it, it just goes to it. Doesn't matter what I click, it'll go to it. So make sure you have the same symbol link. It should be like 9. Yeah, there's 9. Good morning, E. Always glad to see you. Good morning, Cam. Nope. Don't use VIX. VIX is almost pointless. A huge contradiction in the stock market that almost everyone looks at for no reason. Do you even know why you need it? You know, most people think, oh, but it's the opposite of SPY. No, it's not. It's not even close. It's not even close to the opposite for SPY. There is no such thing as an opposite for SPY. The dollar for a while, which I think it's still kind of moving away from it. The dollar used to be a really good kind of opposite ticker to watch, but it hasn't been as much lately. I would say over the past, almost end of January, probably the last 2-3 months, I'd say, the dollar has not been as effective. This got really good to kind of watch alongside SPY, because anytime this would pop, SPY would die. And that just makes sense. You know, anytime the dollar gets strong, equities get weak. That makes sense. You know, from a supply-demand point of view, that makes sense. But overall, though, you can see it's not really doing much today. This dollar's pumping, SPY's going up. So they're not really doing anything. And the VIX is not what people think. Everyone's always like, oh, it means when it goes down, SPY goes up. No, it does not mean that. It just tracks volatility of the SPX options chain. So it tracks volatility. That's all it tracks. The craziness. The fuel. I agree with you, Big Lou. I like how you said that. Okay, good advice. I will do my best to not overtrade. I want to see everybody not overtrade today. Now, does that mean VIX is useless? No. VIX is super useful. Because what does this tell us? This tells us that volatility is low. That's how you should read VIX, not, oh, it's going down, SPY's going to go up. Don't ever look at it like that. That is how you get screwed. And I have seen probably, honestly, I've never seen a single trader say that. I've always seen, you know, like some of the bigger organizations post learning videos, and they make sense of what VIX is supposed to be. But I have seen so many fat weird quotations right now. Traders lie to people about what VIX actually is, what VIX actually does. They always just tell them some lazy shit like, oh, it does the opposite. Just watch it for a good confirmation. No, it doesn't do that. So don't screw yourself. You love this stream, appreciate you. And there's a few things like that that have kind of like, that are contradictory. You'll have tons of people say one thing and it doesn't even mean that. But yeah, that's a whole nother conversation. And again, I'm not saying I'm perfect. I don't know everything. I just don't talk about things I don't know. You know, what's the point? You're just going to end up lying to people. How are you I'm doing great, man. Thank you for asking. I actually kind of woke up kind of late. I didn't really sleep that well. So I don't know if I'll have a super long stream today. Plus, it's Friday. I just want to kind of chill. But honestly, having a great morning. I can't wait to see how today ends, to be honest with you. I really want to go through some bigger time frame charts later. So I'll be posting some of those in the Discord chat. But yeah, I'm super excited, honestly. I think next week's going to be great. I think, you know, regardless of what happens today, I think next week's going to be beautiful. I cannot wait to take some more trades, some more swing trades, especially with that 1K account. And I told you about that yesterday in the Power Hour stream. We've been doing a 1K account. Not really a challenge, I'm just starting with 1K. For this swing trade account, I keep saying a lot. But the 1K account I'm doing is for the lifetime chat. So if you don't have lifetime, you're not going to see this. But I have been doing that, so it's been really helpful too, doing those Power Hour streams. How many of you went to the Power Hour streams on Tuesday and Thursday this week? I had 2 of them this week, which I think I'm just going to aim for Tuesdays and Thursdays, to be honest. I kept saying I'm going to try and do it every other day, but there's 5 days of every week, so it's going to keep changing. And I don't really want to be caught doing a Monday and a Friday on the same week, because that's just going to be kind of pointless on a Friday, especially for a Power Hour stream. You should never look to swing too much over weekends. You have to understand, whenever people go into the weekend, especially towards the end of the month when the month is about to change and the contracts switch over, you do not want to be holding a bag going over the weekend. But enjoying the replay. Your Power Hours are fire. We watched it twice and still need to take more notes. Appreciate you, boo-boo. I'm glad to see you working your ass off, man. I really am. I've enjoyed watching the replays of Power Hour when I'm unable to make it live. Glad to keep learning from all in here. Good mindset, E. Love that. Caught them in between work. You're a real one. Love you, Jazz. Love you. What's the status? It's up like $50. We're up 5% on the week on the account. Just on the 2 AAL swing. And again, if you watch yesterday's Power Hour stream, you'll be all caught up. Power Hour raises sword. Tuesday to Thursday seems to be a good start. All right, well, we'll keep doing that. Plus, from my perspective, at least from how I've traded over time, trading on a Friday for swings is bad. Monday can be a little misleading. So Tuesdays and Thursdays end up being some of the hottest days, in my opinion, for looking at Power Hour swings. No, we're not going to have Power Hour today. So don't worry about it. You caught Tuesday, missed yesterday. Totally fine. And they're both public on the YouTube too, so if you ever need to go back, just check it out. I probably need to do a better job at doing thumbnails. Maybe I'll do that this weekend. Over the last like 116, 17, 18... let's see, what stream number are we on? Let me look. So yesterday I posted a message saying link to all 118 streams. That was before we did Power Hour. So right now this stream is the 120th stream for YouTube. 120 since like August. So yeah, welcome to the 120th stream. Nothing special. Is 388.36 an emerging candle level or a halfway point? Let's go look. Let's color code it. Thank you for asking, JP. I always love it when people ask to show them, hey, look, this is where my levels come from. Whoops, I just keep messing up. There we go. It's a halfway point between emerging candles from February 4th and February 8th, 2021. A halfway point. Yep, you got it. He said he thinks it's a fib halfway, and it 100% was. And look how crazy that is. You know, you'd think like, oh, that doesn't matter. Perfectly test the true pre-market low. Hey, good stuff, JP. Good question, though. Always happy to answer that. An emerging candle? There's no way you've never heard that term. I watched the Power Hour stream again last night because you were going fast. Yeah, my bad. I do speak fast, but it's just there's so much to talk about, and I only have an hour in Power Hour. So I have to speak a little bit faster than normal, which I can speak pretty fast. No, I do not do lives on the weekends. Happy Friday, Henry. But hybrid trading cowboy, getting back to your what is an emerging candle. An emerging candle is the first time price has ever broken that spot. So think of it as a break spot. If you go out to my daily time frame, this is how I've been charting for the past, couple years really, but on stream past few months, showing everybody an emerging candle. And look at this. It's from the far left. So every level I'm grabbing is from 2020, 2021. Some of them will be in 2022. We're just not quite there anymore because 2023 has been dropping. But we use the tops of those green candles, the meat of them, and you'll see we have another one here. And then we go in between those to give us halfway points. So like, you see how we have one here, and then we have one here? Well, it's not really fair to say above 386, aim for 390.50. No, that's a good level, but it's not really fair to say that's where it's going first. So what we do is we get a fib, and we go from that emerging candle to that emerging candle. We add the halfway point of that range. It's nothing to do with fibs. It's literally just marking the halfway point. And it gets you a really good in-between level. So now we can say, oh, above 386, look for 388. Above 388, look for 390.50. You know, and so you're still incorporating it. You're just being a lot more passive. But that's what an emerging candle is. But if you've literally watched any of my streams or watched any of the videos, that's what an emerging candle is. We've gone over it many, many, many times. So I'm not getting on to you, but we have gone over that a lot. Like Tuesday, Thursday, learn some great things. Great prep on weekly life cycle and daily HTF candle close. And great Friday. Yeah, Max, you've been on fire lately with your updates. Some of your TA you've been dropping in here. Do I use the golden pocket? Hell yeah, I use the golden pocket. That's where the sweet plays come from. Oh, okay, well, no problem, Hybrid Trading Cowboy. And for more information on any of my charting techniques, of course, you can come into stream and ask, or you can check out any of our past Sunday streams we've done. But if you go to my channel, this video right here, where's it at? Oh, it's down now. I've done more videos. Workshop number 11. This is the video you want to watch. This is everything. And I know you've heard me cover this because this is something I pull up almost every stream, because this is like, this was the video I worked hard on, so I don't have to re-explain everything 100 times every stream. This is the video. So if you want to pick up on where we're getting levels from, how we navigate them, the types of entries we take, the staircase method, which is going to help you grow either a small account, a medium account, or a bigger account, it really doesn't matter. It'll grow any size account using that method. So I would 3 billion% check out this video. And I know you've heard me say that because I cover that almost once a day. I go as far back as I can, see and ready. As far left as you can. The first time it breaks. It's not that hard to understand. Take your time looking through some charts. I always go to the far left. The first time price breaks. If you're looking at tickers like coin, it's not going to help you. You should go look at a few other things first, practice them, then you can get into looking at those tickers that don't have that far left side. Yep, even if there's a gap, I don't care about that. It's not the TA routine. Watch the video, man. You keep asking questions on what's in the video. Just watch the video. I made it for this exact reason. Good morning, Andrew McGlennon. Sorry, your name was capitalized, so I thought you were yelling at me at first, but then I realized that was your name. But good morning, everybody. Let's drop a like on the stream. We have over 260 people in here, just under 130 likes. Let's try to even that up a little bit. Boo-boo, it takes years, man. It takes years. Anybody else will tell you, oh, everyone's different. It should only take you a couple weeks or a couple months. That's such a lie. It takes years. Even when you have 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years under your belt, you are still considered a child of the market. Good morning, Gold Creation. Always happy to see your name pop up, man. How you doing? It's okay if he doesn't watch the video. I don't care. Some people won't watch it even after asking questions. I don't think hybrid trading cowboys like that, though. Good morning, SF. Call my name, I will give you a like. I'm being held hostage. Number 11 is key. Bro, facts. When you plant a tree, you don't take fruit the next day. 100%. That's a really good way of putting that. Let's go ahead and pin that. We'll do a poll here in like a few minutes. We'll do a poll. It should post at the top of chat. Day trading takes a minute to learn, but a lifetime to master. Preach. Because it's not just about, you know, getting good at buying and selling. It's a whole lot more than that. I think anybody in here understands that. It's crazy how many streams we do each week now. This was a short week. We didn't even have Monday, and we still did 6 streams. We did 1 Monday, or I'm sorry, 2 Tuesday, 1 Wednesday, 2 Thursday, and then 1 today. So we still ended up doing 6 streams today, or this week. You just use my levels, Andrew. I don't step outside of my realm. It's a ranged. It's ranging. You can see it's ranging right here because we're still inside of the previous day. So you at least understand it's inside of the previous day. That's considered a range. I'd say that people should also look into your 40% and 80% video as well. 100%, which that's also in the workshop number 11, so they don't really have to, but there are many videos on my channel that break down the entry types. I mean, we literally have live trades posted on my channel, and people will still come in here and be like, how come you don't do this or that? It's just like, the hell are you doing, dude? You don't even look around, you're judging. Thank you. Somebody on FinTwit make you believe 3 months you should be getting 1,000%. Yeah, no, hell no. Don't listen to anybody who sounds like that. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Good morning, though. Coffee, kilos, and wine. Great name. I think I've said that before. It's like any skill that pays, takes time, dedication, and patience. 100%. It's not anything different than whatever else is in life. You don't just step up to the plate and you're hitting home runs. Like, no, it's going to take time. What are you going to do when you start having 1,000 people in the stream? You're like a man smoking at a gas station B. I hope we never hit 1,000 people, to be honest. I hope we stay at this number forever. I don't want that many people. I like this group of people, this size. I can handle this. But if it happens, it happens. I'll just have to adjust. Discipline can happen at any time thanks to that's up to the individual. Learning strategy that works for you and you understand is what takes time. 100%. Everything takes time. Big thing I learned is look at it as percentage, not money amount, and compound those gains. 100%. That's what we talk about in here too, Michael. Sometimes I haven't said it. I don't think I've said it in a while, but we always talk about, you know, what should you focus on when you're taking trades? You shouldn't really look at what's happening to your trade. You should really be focused on the functioning of your trade, the structure of it. You know, where are you entering? Why? You know, most people, when I ask why do they enter, they just say, oh, it looked good for going up. It's like, okay, but why did you enter it? That still doesn't answer my question. Morning, Daniel. Glad to have you in here. Glad you're here to stay. Lots of streams this week. Thanks, BB. No problem, Divert. I'm always happy to be here. You know me. Morning, Victor. Morning, Oscar. Appreciate you, David. Oscar's getting hyped. I entered because I can. Exactly. That's the type of stuff people will say, though. And then it's like, well, you wonder why you're failing, or you wonder why you're having struggles, you know, even if you're not failing. Day 2 of asking for 7-hour streams. Nah, we'll never get more than 1K because you are not a scam and you're not pushing get rich quick shit. 100%. And that's what people. No, I'm not gonna say a lot of haters, but I get some haters because I don't talk a certain way. Because I don't sit here and lie to you. I'm not gonna sit here and say, yeah, dude, you keep sitting in these streams, you're gonna get rich. Hell no. I don't promise that with anybody. I promise if you pay attention, you'll do better. But I'm not gonna sit here and say that you're going to be rich, you're going to be wealthy, you're gonna kill it this year. You know, I'm not here to tell you all that. Should you be motivated? Hell yeah, you should be motivated. Haters on my motivators. Preach. Yeah, somebody said it yesterday in the stream. They were like, dude, there's people talking about you, their chats. I was like, I don't give a fuck. Let them talk about me. I know what my community stands for. I don't back down to shit. My community is strong. We have nothing but leaders in here. I don't raise sheep. I have nothing but leaders in here. No, he's not busy. I'm about to call him. I just was so in y'all's conversation. I just wanted to talk to y'all. I like having the stream to myself. Good. They should get slapped by the IRS. You lie to people, you should get in trouble. That's basics of life. I gotta put my headset on. I don't even have it on yet. Well, you're no fun. I want 100 to 1 million in a week. Hate us because they ain't us. Preach, rebel. Preach. Let people who love to bitch and moan complain about other people. I'll let them continue to complain and moan while I continue to trade and provide for my community. What's going on, babe?
A wise man once said, haters gonna hate, ballers gonna ball. You ready for this move?
God, sinful. You sounded like you were doing the Chief Keef intro. Chief Keef ate this. Chief Keef can't rap. I've watched a lot of your videos. That's why I've gotten better in just a few weeks I've been here. I sometimes are charting and things while watching and may have missed some stuff. No problem, dude. No problem. I mean, I've said it a billion times before. I don't expect anyone to go through my videos and just get it first try or to catch every video or to catch everything that's said. It's a lot of content. It's not really logical to say, you should be watching all my videos. No, you should probably take a chill pill sometimes. You probably watch too many videos, man. A lot of you guys work your ass off, and I love that. Good morning, Geo. What's up, Green Candlestick? Oh, you're saying facts to Devin.
Microsoft going crazy. See if it pops out yesterday high. But so far, big move on Microsoft. Opposite on Apple, coming down, breaking pre-market low.
Bitches love so.
Ferraris and Rovers.
I have seen those deep fake videos. Those are crazy how, like, real those look. Morning, Jack. We were all waiting for you, dude. Good morning. Every single person in here was waiting on you to be here, pal. Glad you're here. Yeah, crazy move so far. Getting a nice seller reaction right at open. Like I said, that's crazy, guys. I was just using this as an example. I wasn't actually saying Apple will fall like this, but that is crazy to see that happening. This was the example used this morning. Microsoft and Apple, complete opposites this morning. Amazon to the downside. Tesla trying to follow. Meta falling. Google's overbought anyway. AMD testing previous day close. We're getting a lot of seller reaction at open. I'm seeing a couple buyers like on Nvidia and Microsoft, but that's it.
Yeah. Financial selling as well. XOM selling. Mostly selling.
I am curious to see how my Nike TA did. Okay, they haven't really moved yet. I do like, this is one we talked about in Power Hour stream. I like this. I think the EMAs are like right here, or right here maybe. But I like how they're breaking 125.50 and holding under it. So basically, as long as they're holding under this, you should look for more downside on Nike. But I probably won't swing anything on a Friday over the weekend. But that was one we were looking at.
So I've got a quick pop over that yesterday with Hive. I got Wicks. Tesla moving a little bit lower.
Yeah, for real, Boo Boo. That was a pretty crazy move. Hope everyone's doing well. Ran a little late at the gym. Totally fine, man. Glad to hear you're hitting the gym, Jack. Good morning, my oogly bears.
It's just getting a decent pullback with Berkby and JPM pulling down to their yesterday lows. SPY pulling down some more towards that pre-market low. Yesterday close area.
Tell Taylor to say hi to the stream.
Josh said hi to say hi to the stream, Taylor.
Hi, stream.
Actually, speaking of Taylor, I need to look at coin. Oh, they have such a clean level today. Too bad they're not going up. Okay. Coin actually has a really solid plan. If you highlight the previous day open and close, you can look under that. And if you look over the previous day high, you can look over that. That's actually a pretty solid trade plan for Coinbase, if I do say so myself. Is that the Coin Neo Taylor? Yes, it is. Everybody's saying hi, Taylor, on the chat. XLK and XLC only green sectors, 5 minutes in. Good call out.
Netflix has been holding up pretty well, creeping up towards that pre-market high. See if that's going to pop that on the earnings.
Saw Google this morning from the job cuts.
Yeah, that's been the trend, though.
That's a pretty nice move. Did you see that one tweet? It was like, when is Apple going to do this? It's like, dude, Apple's already been doing this, just not at the same level.
Yeah.
Apple's already been telling their recruiters to stop. They let go of half of their recruiters. Like, everybody's been doing this.
Amazon's on their second round of it, too, so
yeah.
We'll see how bad it gets. Hopefully it's not a trend we keep seeing in the headlines.
Yeah, Coin moves pretty nice, Boo Boo. I like Coin. I don't like trading cryptos, but Coinbase moves.
It's the first time in our generation that we've seen cuts on big tech like that. The .com, like, there wasn't even job cuts. They just completely went out of business. You know what I mean? Like, the first time we're seeing, like, big job cuts on big businesses that are still making money.
Which essentially just tells us slower growth. So
Netflix popping. See if it's going to take out that earnings wick at 345. Got a $5 move up to there. See if we're going to get some volume over this pre-market high.
Also, imagine cutting 12,000 people who make a pretty good amount of money every year. That's so much revenue saved.
Well, and on the other side of it is a bunch of consumers, you know what I mean? Like, they're cutting a shit ton of consumers out. So what does that do long term?
Yeah, these companies aren't thinking about 2-3 years from now. They're thinking about 10 years from now. 10 plus. 39.10 area, see if it holds when we go long. Watching Apple to hold 133.80 pivot point or breakdown. Good call out. Companies overhired during COVID when people were spending a lot. Dude, facts. Dude, it's like every company was like picking up thousands of new employees every other month. Well, the job stats were already released, so that's why you didn't see that. The whole 12K cuts just like literally just happened.
Netflix is trying to hold that pre-market high, see if it's going to pop. Still in the first 10 minutes, SPY coming down to pre-market low.
Yeah, SPY perfectly testing 388.30s. Keep your eyes on that, everybody. You get a good break under 388.30s, or we can get a good bounce. This is that in-between pivot point we talked about this morning.
Huge indecision on Meta so far. Google coming up towards pre-market high.
If a bunch of weights start turning green here, possibly getting bounces on Apple and SPY in those pivot point areas. 134s on Apple and 388s on SPY. Microsoft's still trying to hold us up higher.
Netflix popping 340 nicely. Crazy volume coming in on Netflix here. See if it holds up.
Watch Amazon too. Amazon's testing today's open. So is Tesla. Tesla and Amazon are actually in sync today, Devin. It's crazy to say that. Google getting some buyers too. And yeah, Netflix, I guess they're going to 400 again. Shout out to Dylan, man. His position's green again.
Yeah, we just got to get through 350 here. If we can go touch 345 and 350, that'd definitely be good for it. All right, first 10-minute candle in the market.
Come on, one more viewer in here. We break 300, and it just broke. 300 viewers. Let's go, everybody. I think yesterday we hit 295. Be sure to drop a like on the stream. I'm beyond honored to be here with you all. Thank you guys for tuning in. That's crazy, though. Just almost brings a tear to my eye. SPY on the one day that looks to be forming an inside bar. Good call out. Home sales at 9 Central. Thank you, Coach. Appreciate that. Thank you for saying it in my time zone. I appreciate that more. I hate when people are coming there like, guys, it's at 9 o'clock. Like, what time zone? What time zone?
Yeah.
We talking West Coast, East Coast, Central, Mountain? What are we talking? Talking Europe time? Appreciate that, though, guys. Seriously, 300 people, 200 likes. That's mind-blowing.
Netflix pushing the body of the earnings candle, first good profit to start taking some profits. See if it's going to push breakthrough here till 245.
Dude, Microsoft just zooming. If Apple can keep bouncing, this is really good for SPY. Totally fine, Ruben. You know me, man. I don't really care about the likes. I don't really care about all that stuff. If you go back to the beginning streams, I was beyond happy when we had like 50 people. I was so happy for that. Bueller, what state are you in? Texas, the greatest state in the planet. Apple 133.80 lines up with the 9 SMA daily. Also going to be... Oh, nice, hybrid. That's really cool to see that. You know, it's crazy. Every time I turn on the 9 EMA and I go look at the daily, it does line up. Not every time, but a lot of the time. It lines up with a really bigger time frame level that we've already been looking at. So it's pretty crazy to see that. Good call out, though. That's very clean. You're expecting home sales will be down based on seasonality in the general market. Oh, Freedom. I was supposed to DM you back and I didn't.
Oh, and I forget which home builder just came out, but the 60% of their 2023 builds have canceled. So that's definitely not looking good as well. Home builders are getting hit with cancellations left and right.
Devin with his Netflix scalp. I hid your account name. Not because I want y'all to know his info, because his account name's really funny. Yeah, Texas ain't so bad. I could do without the humidity, but it's alright.
Wise catching support here. Apple coming back up. Microsoft pushing. Bringing Meta up too. Google's at pre-market high. Good come back up here. Netflix pops this 342. It's going to keep going to the 345 there. Get over these bodies. Looks like it's about to. There it goes.
The like was for me for showing up every day and trying to learn from smart minds like yourself. Cheers, sir. Hey, man, I'm no smarter than anybody else. Like I said, it doesn't take a smart person. It takes a disciplined person. Appreciate that, though. Yeah, the growth has been crazy, Bueller, ever since you went public. We'd love to see it. Hope nothing but the best for you. Dude, thank you, Oscar. It really does mean a lot to me, man. Appreciate you. Around the world and back. SPY getting good buyers in that area we talked about. It's mainly because of Microsoft. You had Netflix, you had Amazon. Everything's kind of reversing back up from supports they dipped down to. So it's a really good dip and rip so far from the open, especially on all of our top weights. It's also nice to see Google and Netflix, even though they're up, not just pulling back instantly and also hurting some of these bounces. So nothing crazy so far. SPY still under there today's open, but it is nice to see a little bit of buyer relief stepping in to show, hey, we're here. And at good areas. Like we talked about Apple in the 134s. We talked about SPY in the 388s. You know, you could still see some good bounces here. You shouldn't just start shorting right at the open. Just because you see a big red candle.
Netflix went up and wicked right at that 344 dollar off of that previous high. Let's see what it does. See if it comes back down to pre-market high and hold. Meta's
so,
still holding. Oh, go ahead.
No, you're good. So fair game, everybody. But I'm going to do a poll. How will SPY close today? Green, red, flat. Ask your community. All right, cool. So check out the poll. It should be at the top of the screen. Let's try to see. And this is just a fair opinion. You know, none of us here are wizards. Well, at least I don't think everybody in here is a wizard. But not everybody in here could see the future. None of us have a DeLorean that goes back in time. Or forward in time. So definitely check out that poll. Let us know what you think. You think we get flat? You think we get green? You think we get red? If you asked me, I'd kind of say what Noxta and Boo Boo just said. I would say flat, but maybe green. So it's kind of hard to just choose one. I would not be surprised, though, to have a small red or small green or a flat day. Anything outside of that, I would be a little shocked. But we're ready for it, though. Regardless of being shocked or not, we're prepared. For either side, for either distance, it doesn't matter. And that's the important part of technical analysis, is being ready for anything. Possible bear flag here on Apple if they don't retain any buyers to back to the upside. So keep eyes on that over the next 5, 10, 15 minutes. Even SPY could experience the same.
Google's popping its pre-market high now. See if that's going to get some continuation, follow through.
another fake Bueller. I gotta go ban this son of a gun.
And hammer. Let's see here. Meta coming up pre-market high yesterday high area. Obviously, yesterday high is going to be the better breakout since it's so close to this pre-market high. See if it's going to help that with Google. It could help Netflix get over this area at the 342 it needs to pop.
Where's it at?
So far, Tesla just keeps wicking off 128. It needs to break under that previous intraday low if we're going to go towards that yesterday low. Microsoft's still holding up way better than Apple. Good stuff, Rambo. Daily goal. Take the day off. Enjoy yourself. Go get a big old T-bone.
All right, guys. I'm dropping a... My bad.
Go ahead.
I'm dropping a link to the side server we have. It's a completely free server. Every bit of it's free. Well, except if you go to the BB course channel. But everything in here, though, 100% education. There's all kinds of stuff in here. And a lot of this information I've had posted for years. A lot of this is from, like, end of 2020. When we made all this. But chart patterns, order types, a lot of people are always like, what's a market order? What's a limit order? You can come check it out. Stops, terminologies, all kinds of terminology we have posted in here. Tips and extra info. Tons of different pieces of info. Hike and Ashi, Ichimoku Cloud, TTM Squeeze, custom indicators, which that hasn't been updated in a while, but there's still some really cool ones in there that we made. Books, videos, motivation, all kinds of stuff. And then the really big meat of it all, the education on options and price actions. If you guys want to come through here, check out all this information, be my guest. A lot of really cool information we have in here. Typed out. We made a lot of our own images. Some of them is from other sites. We give credit to them. But loads, and loads. Like right here. All of these are from my boy Troy. Made all of these. So definitely take time to come through this server. But it's 100% free. It's just for good side education. But feel free to click that link, join, and check out some of the information. Just something extra to give everybody. But I've had that for... Yeah, that's over it's like almost 2.5 years. Pretty close. Like 2.25. Netflix pulling back down.
I was about to say, back at that pre-market high. See if we get a retest. We're just going to keep breaking down.
Tesla's on fire after breaking today's open. Let's see if they have enough strength to break through 130 or not. Nvidia, AMD were basing. Saw Google made a new high of day. Microsoft kept going, slowed down a little bit. And Apple still continuing their little bounce. Nice to see. This is going to help out SPY a lot. "100% 762. Edit whatever you want, boss. Ain't going to hurt my feelings." I think we have an updated one that has all of it labeled. But have fun, though. Kill it. Finished your first power stream late last night. Damn. Doing a paper trade swing off a bullish engulfing meta pattern today looks good. Thanks for the education. No problem, Mitch. Be careful. Thank you for tuning in and checking out the info. Make sure to get your sleep, man. I appreciate you checking out the content, but make sure you take care of yourself.
Well, again, a little bit more of a pop here. See if we can take out that opening price, pre-market high area. As Microsoft and everything are picking back up. Apple back over pre-market low. Tesla's popping that yesterday high. Google pushing higher. Meta right at yesterday high, trying to pop. Financials not doing as much, but not really selling off crazy. See if we can get this pop here. Going towards that previous open area.
They defended that 388 so well so far. Let me look for you, 762. I think I have it pinned in Leland's DMs. Leland's my little workhorse. Here's also a link, another free link. Candlestick pattern flashcards. And yeah, tech is on fire. Good call out, Noxta. Broke yesterday's open. Got back over today's open. They're trying to work themselves back up to the higher part of previous day highs.
Amazon coming up to pre-market high now after Tesla getting going, giving Tesla some extra support as it's pushing new high.
Divert, the other person talking, I'm pretty bad at introducing him. Nerdy Bicep, my good friend Devin. He's been around me for, what, almost 5 years now?
Yeah, been a long time. Getting old.
We some old boys. But yes, Divert, this is Nerdy Bicep. Devin is what you'll sometimes hear me call him. I don't think I ever call you Nerdy Bicep anymore.
No, not usually.
It's weird to call you that now.
Most everything is holding up, but not really popping the levels. Amazon's right against pre-market high. Tesla's moving a little more now. Meta's not popping its level yet, so we gotta see if they're gonna help out. So far, SPY's rejecting right about that opening price. Gonna need to get over that and pre-market high to get everything else keep going.
I appreciate him too, Divert. Devin is a pretty cool guy. He aight.
I'm just trying to get as full as Josh, but he won't tell me the secrets.
One of the few loyal, trustworthy people that have been by my side for many years. Adding into the pile, not taking away from it. It's very rare to find those people. Especially, and I'm not going to tell you all the stresses and craziness of running a Discord community because there's so much more than you could ever imagine. But there are so many people who love to try to take away. And there's so little that want to add to the pile, if that makes sense. Devin is one of those few.
Microsoft rejecting.
A pretty good rejection of today's open on SPY. They didn't quite get to it, but they got really close. Kind of like Apple. Apple and SPY are in sync today, which is good because Apple's the heaviest weight. Microsoft is probably the only thing helping that out, though, because they're one of the major tech tickers that are up so much. If you see Microsoft pull back down, you see Apple have continued weakness, this is going to be bad for tech. Amazon making that new push over 94.60s. Look out for 95 and possibly 95.30s. Some good risk there if you keep your stop loss at 94.30. I'd be very careful, though, because SPY is not confirmed yet. But Amazon and Tesla are both breaking out. So you do have a little bit of confirmation from the discretionary sector. That would be XLY. You can see they've pushed over there today's open, pushed out of this little area here. They're probably going to go aim for this little lower high here, 136.60s, and then you have today's open at 137, basically. So keep your eye on that as well if you are trading Amazon or Tesla. Meta still holding pretty good. Google still holding pretty good, which is good for Netflix because those are all in the same sector.
Netflix still holding pre-market high.
I love this NVIDIA base. Keep your eyes on NVIDIA above today's open and possibly 170.60s. Same thing for AMD, above this little high right here at 68.20 or 68.60s. Keep your eyes on both of those tickers on both of those levels. Those have both built pretty decent. Well, NVIDIA has built good base. AMD kind of building a higher low. Nothing crazy. But I love this base on NVIDIA. If that fails, that could bring a very heavy drop too. So either way, it looks good. Good call out Mel. Good call out Hybrid. Oh, let me get that link for you.
Meta trying to break that yesterday high. XLM coming up to opening price. Financials giving a little bit of a bounce towards opening price. Buy coming back towards that opening price. See if we can pop it and pre-market high right above. Amazon still over that pre-market high. Tesla pushing new high with increasing volume on the 10-minute with about 2 minutes left. See how that finishes up. Could be getting pretty good move on Tesla. Looking off the opening price again on SPY.
I also have a cool partnership to talk about next week. I can't wait to talk about that. Apple thoughts for the pop-up. I mean, it came down to 134, same time as SPY came down to the 388.30s. And as I said, and that was just my example. I wasn't actually meaning to say Apple will fall this morning, but they happened to do exactly what our example was, which brought SPY down to their perfect bounce level. Right now, what you want to look out for is for a higher low to be built or for a double bottom, because they've already gone to the level, THE. What they need to do now is hold the level. So as long as they're holding 134s, you should be short-term bullish to today's open, but above today's open is essentially where you need to be looking for a better entry, and above 136.25. This right here could be considered an indecisive range because nobody has control. We're just getting a lot of really good trading in a really good range. So you basically need to be looking outside of this initial range for an initial move, if that makes sense. GS Gill.
Apple's still showing its weakness, pushing down some more, pulling Microsoft down.
Wow, your boy Joe, are you in the stream today? Beautiful mental trade. Telling you, man, him and Jazz are two of the few people posting mental trades almost every single day, and they're going to be those two people that just randomly explode full of growth in the future, and I'm not going to be surprised because they've been working hard for it. Good job, though, man. If you can hear me, I'm beyond happy, man. Thank you.
Your lower day at Tesla, or not Tesla, Apple, my bad. Looking at two different charts at the same time.
Ooh, nice, Anderson. Yeah, be sure to post that, man. I want to see it. How you been lately, Anderson? My little BAC trader. Microsoft falling. Great call out, JP. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. I want to hear these updates on the stocks that are moving. Microsoft is pulling back down. Great call out. Adding more weakness into Apple. If they can break 134s, we will probably see SPY break 388s. So keep eyes on that. I would like to add, though, there are other sectors doing pretty good. The discretionary sector is doing pretty good with Amazon and Tesla holding up. And the comm sector, which had Netflix pop up yesterday after hours from earnings, with the subscriber growth, they're up, Meta's up, and Google is up. These are all three in the same sector. So even though XLK isn't the hottest, you have XLY and XLC slowly supporting. If not leading, you can see they're actually doing better than XLK now. But as you can see, though, we have multiple sectors doing really good. So that's why you don't have SPY dropping as heavy with Apple and Microsoft pulling back. Because there's other sectors stepping up. Does that make sense, though? A lot of rejections just now. Good call out, Noxta. For Nike, I just have those bigger time frame levels. Basically, you're watching for bears to maintain control under 125.50. If bulls can break this, that will invalidate the break that happened yesterday, if that makes sense. But here you go, Dev. I'll leave it up on the screen for a couple seconds. These are, again, for my bigger time frame. I went to like the monthly, I think, to get these levels, because these were for swing trading. I don't day trade Nike. No problem, Dev. IWM, not bad today. 30-minute candle with good volume. So small caps are also doing good. Good call out. SPY seems to be holding 389.35 really well so far. We're getting a lot of rejections, but we're still holding a good base here. Let's look for that pop over today's open. which again just leads us into resistance. We have an overall range between here and here. I mean, it's not even just between there, it's between here and here. This is kind of an in-between pivot point.
Yeah, new high day meta breaking that yesterday high. See if we get 138 going towards 139. Amazon holding on opening price, coming back up towards that pre-market high, needs to get over. Tesla coming back up after retesting pre-market high yesterday high area. See if it takes out 131. Netflix coming back over pre-market high. Apple holding coming back up towards pre-market low. See if we can get over that in the 135. Back towards opening price. Help out SPY. Yeah, might have just hit 138. Stuff Rambo taking a nice little 10% on meta there.
Fix breaking yesterday low. Good call out Maxon. King and Queen are moving so differently today. 100% Boo Boo. I'm so happy to see you calling that out and reviewing them, because they're definitely two of the best to look at for market fluctuation. But also look at your discretionary and your comms. That's why I labeled those out too, because if you're looking at just tech today, you'll be a little thrown off.
Just got a quick pop of that opening price on SPY, almost up to that pre-market high. See if we can break this here, coming up to it. Popping pre-market high. Get some nice price action coming in. See if we can hold over pre-market high. Meta making new high. Amazon pushing. Tesla pushing. XOM coming up a little bit.
Nvidia's pushing too after my mention. Which again, that was a bit of a riskier buy the dip kind of play that I was showing y'all, because it had not really shown anything rising volume wise. I just liked that it had base built so quickly while AMD was grinding back up. So good job if anybody took the Nvidia play so far. I do like this a lot, especially if it can crack 170.60s. That's the previous day open as well as the lower high.
Amazon getting it going. See if it's going to get that yesterday high now at 95.44. Q's coming back up. SPY pushing new high over pre-market high.
No problem, Anderson. Thanks for giving your education. I appreciate you dropping your information as well. Like I've always said, this isn't a one-way thing where it's like, just focus on what Bueller's looking at. No, there's plenty of TA from Devin, plenty of TA from you guys.
You took a quick pop of that pre-market high. This is a good spot to start scaling out. This is about 50% of the range between pre-market high and yesterday high.
$171 on Nvidia. If you took my initial play, here's a great time to take initial profits. If you are just now looking for an open range breakout, you need to wait to see if 170.60s hold. But great job on Nvidia. If anybody took that initial idea, you are definitely up. I'm going to check out your trade review now, Anderson. Damn, Devin, you went from Netflix to SPY Futures. You're a legend.
Yes, sir.
I've been getting a lot of questions lately about futures and how you can trade them. If you want to learn, hit up Devin on Discord. The Nerdy Bicep is his name. You'll see him as one of the moderators in the chat. So if you're in the BB chat, he's really easy to find. We're going to need to create a channel for you down the road, Devin, so you can post some just general info.
The nerdy bicep channel. All right, SPY getting over that 50% midpoint of this range here in the pre-market high to yesterday high. So it looks like we're going to go test that yesterday high. So see if we can get through that now on SPY.
So far, Freddie, it does look like that. Good job keeping your losses small, hybrid trading. That is one of the hardest things to do. Great work, man. You might not hear that too much where you lose and someone's like, great work. Great work keeping it small. Rough week.
Really, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You probably had something.
Financials are picking up with JPM and Berk B coming up, so that's really helping SPY. They're coming up to some nice levels to come up to the upside. Amazon and Google are pushing nicely. Everything's pushing besides Apple, but Apple is at that pre-market low, so it could be a nice little dip buy on Apple coming here if it takes out that opening price.
Sherman, I've only had problems on market orders when it comes to low volume stocks. So I don't know exactly what stock you were looking at, but I have had problems with it, but only when it's been something that's moving too quick, doesn't matter the size of it, or something that is very low volume, so it's hard to get into a play. But most of the time, no. Because most of the time I'm trading something that has volume, and most of the time I'm not trying to get into a trade with the market order that is just completely flying or completely dropping, which that makes it hard to get, because then you end up getting filled at a super horrible price, or they don't fill you at all. But most of the time, you'll get filled no matter what on a market order. Market order is pretty much just like an order that puts you in to get you in. There's no limit order where you get to choose where you want to enter at. So if it doesn't work, you don't get in. It was Tesla, and Webull gave me a message about volatility. That's something with Webull then, because that should not happen. When you click a market order, you're essentially clicking something that is forcing you in. It doesn't even care what price. So if it goes up, let's say it's going up really fast, you're going to be buying a more expensive contract than you thought. Ugh, rough week, but ending on a good note today. 25% on Tesla calls, GOTTE streams both Bueller's streams both educational and mentally calming. I'm so happy to hear that, WAG Trader. Use this rough week to review. Take a break on Saturday. Give yourself that kind of reset. And then focus on next week. But make sure to review. Oh, well, there you go. There's your answer. Ryan King and Leland both saying Webull doesn't like market orders, especially on zero TTEs. So it looks like that's why. Webull doesn't want people trading same days or market orders, which I wish more brokers did that, to be honest. That would stop a lot of younger traders from jumping into trades they probably shouldn't be in.
Google's trying to make that new high, but hasn't quite made it here. Same thing on Tesla on this candle, hasn't quite made a new high. Microsoft coming back down to that yesterday high. Some stuff a little bit slowing down here. Apple rejecting off pre-market low. That spot slowing back down. See if it comes back to this pre-market high opening price area and hold, potentially going back up to 391.
Um, 762. This link I'm dropping right now, this is the BB link indicator. The link to the BB indicator. Jesus, I cannot speak today. So after 117 votes, 25 minutes, 45% say green, 30% say red, 25% say flat. Be sure to check on the poll at the top of the chat if you are wanting to jump into that. It's a free, fun little poll, nothing serious. Having problem with the 390s now. Good call out, Mel. I heard you talk about that earlier. Robinhood doesn't? They used to. That sucks. I mean, that doesn't suck. That's good. Maybe Robinhood's finally cleaning up their act. I could have swore you could, though.
Oh, I didn't even notice. Sand Toast posted a nice little graphic of what I was talking about earlier with the mortgage, or not mortgage, but the house cancellations.
Where do you post that up?
It looks like premium chat. No, I can copy link right here.
Oh, I see it. Jesus, that's wild. The home buyer cancellation rate, 68%.
Yeah. They're talking about it this morning on Benzinga. Everything they were saying about it was not good.
That's horrible. I mean, I can see why. It makes sense. It's not like that's
Yeah.
out of the
In,
realm, but that's still
in
wild.
fact, I was just talking to a buddy last night that was a car lot, and he said it's so slow right now because they can't like they run somebody with an 800 credit score, and they're getting 10 to 12% rates. So nobody wants to buy a car right now, which is insane. They say the big lots will advertise like 5 to 8, but when it runs, it still comes in closer to like 9 to 10. Yeah, Ruben, that was at a 800 credit score is what he said it was at. He said 700 is even worse. If you have like a 700, it's even worse. So you're at like 13, 14%.
I just got my credit score updated yesterday. That's wild, though. I mean, you can't blame people. It's
Oh, no, not
inevitable.
at all. Houses are way overpriced and like building material. Like, you know, for instance, over in the Amish country where my mom's store is at, there was a store getting built and it was quoted for $1 million. And it was like the start of COVID and it was being built during COVID. And as inflation went on, it ended up costing like $2 million over budget just because of the price of material went up so much
Yeah,
during
wood
construction.
wood went up so much, metals went up a shit ton, like everything, and that's not even counting the inflation of everything else. So I could see why that doubled in price. That's wild.
Yeah. So, like all the Amish country construction is pretty much put on hold because they don't want to pay the cost to get stuff done. So, yeah, everything's just slowing. Amish are going into recession. You know it's bad. Yeah, after my 2 trades today, I'm done for the day. I will not be taking any more trades, but I will be navigating the market with you guys, seeing what happens.
Anderson, I don't see your post. Did you post in BB chat? I don't see your post. Unless you're easy for you and I'm just dumb. That's a good resolution. Your name is trade results. Oh, you are easy
Easy.
for you. I'm just dumb. Okay. Okay, I didn't realize you were easy for you, man. I am so sorry. I've probably made that mistake twice already.
Meta trying to push a new high here. XOM rejected pretty hard. Google making a new high. Netflix coming down a little bit, but still holding up over opening price.
Oh, nice. You kind of did a Lee test play. This is like Leland's big thing. He likes to wait for I'll just go to it. What time frame is this? 1 minute. You did exactly what Leland likes to do. He likes to wait for. Now I don't know if he would have done it up here. He probably would have waited longer, but he likes to wait for like a slowdown to hit, and he likes to look for a base, kind of like what you had there. And I like how you marked it. He marked that right here was a high, and this was considered a lower high. So he was looking for bearish pressure. And as it broke this kind of angle here, which again, even without the trend line, you could see it, it broke out of that rectangle there. And that's where he got in at, and then he exited within the next minute for a very solid scalp. Really, really good job, dude. What was the indicator you sold to? Let me see. Oh, VWAP. That was VWAP. Nice, dude. Super, super clean. But that's the lead test, though. That's initially what Leland does. He looks for base. He looks for a break of base. Now, he normally looks for the retest. Then he gets in. You just took the open range breakout. So it's a little different. But still, beautiful job, man. Waiting for the high and the lower high to give you that extra confirmation. And you can see how just a small 1-minute move gave him everything he needed. What did he get out of that? 26% in less than a minute. That's amazing. The power of an open range breakout. Not hesitating. Getting in, getting out. Great job, Anderson. That's super clean. I gotta catch up. There's a few more. Mikey's
Buy back
still on
under
fire.
pre-market high, whipped off opening price. Is that Nike?
No, I was saying
Josh?
Mikey's dude was kicking ass. I was looking at his gains. WAG Trader's on fire too. Trade result on Tesla calls to end the week on a positive note. Just like you said in the stream. I'll pull it over so you'll see what I'm actually talking about. He's got all his levels marked. Good stuff, man. Oh, he has the indicator on. Pushed above. Took Tesla calls at 1.19, increasing buyer volume on the smaller time frame. Held his little bounce here. Scaled out at 135. Took entire profits at 140. Beautiful job, WAG. That is a super clean trade. You took the open range breakout, you held through the retest, and you pushed into the new high. I like that you trimmed, and then you waited for that new high of day to trim and everything else. Beautiful job, dude. What's the difference here? Oh, the one's the 3-minute, one's the 5-minute. Okay, nice. So looking at it multiple time frames. And then there was Mikey kicking ass. Here's Anderson's amazing trade where he looked for the high of day, lower high, and then he took the break of the trend line down to his VWAP. Beautiful job. Your boy Joe with the mental trade. I love seeing these. Rowdy was kicking ass on some Forex. I think he was trading the dollar to Japan coin. Yep, he was. Good stuff. Glad to see everybody kicking ass. Oh, there you go. Mental trade by Jazz. That's what I was waiting for. Entered SPY with 2 call contracts, 390.12. Stop loss was 389.75. Exit calls at 390.80. Entry was for calls. Exited at 390.80. This is a key area from yesterday's SPY, struggling to break this level from yesterday. Beautiful job noticing that, hey, yesterday's highs are in the way. So even if you do get that initial pop, it's not like there's a huge amount of room above them until they prove themselves further. Missed entry due to broker. Now it's a mental trade. Tesla 0TT at 1.480 to 1.80 for a 28% gain. I like the breakout of the 130. So he almost pretty much talked about the same thing that WAG Trader traded. Now WAG took that first entry, held through the bounce, pushed to that new high of day. What Sherman did differently was he waited for the retest, then he got in, and then he took profit at that next level hitting. Beautiful job, Sherman. I love that mental trade. Screwed the pooch every which way on SPY, but made Tesla my biatch. Good stuff. Leland finishing green. Good stuff, Mel. Breaking levels. What a good name. Facts, hybrid trading cowboy. You sound like you're somebody that's been next to me for years now. Me and Devin used to always talk about the rule of 3. The rule of 3 and the rule of 5 are very real. Even if you don't believe in ABC or harmonics or any of that junk, the third time is literally the charm when it comes to the stock market. A lot of the time you'll see a stock test something 3 times before pushing it. You'll see it hold it as support, see it reject 3 times. 3 times seems to always be a very good number to go off of. Leland can end the war in Ukraine in about 12 minutes. I believe it. I believe it. I've already asked this, but is my boy Joy in the stream today? And if he is, please make yourself known so I can try to remember your name better in the YouTube chat. But he's been doing really good. Jazz, Sherman, a bunch of you guys. I'm probably forgetting a few names, but a few of you guys have been posting a lot of mental trades, and I believe that is going to be your edge. Apple's still working their way up. They got a better higher low retest rather than just sitting here. They got a good higher low retest, picking back up, and now they're against that rejection point again. So we need to watch for Apple to possibly push 135.30s, which could be a good play up to the 136s, which will also help out SPY and possibly Microsoft. Microsoft also trying to dip down. Let's go from point of breakout to the high of day. Right now they're battling the golden pocket. So if you go from point of breakout to the high of day, they are battling a very crucial area. So as long as Microsoft can hold that, should get a bounce. If you can see Apple push 135.30s, that'll help out as well. And that'll help pick the tech sector back up. Discretionary's done their job. Comms have overly done their job. They're up over 2% now. So we're doing really good on a lot of the major sectors right now. Healthcare is just mildly down, so nothing truly hurting us. Staples don't weigh a lot, but they're down. Real estate doesn't weigh a lot. They're down. Utilities do not weigh a lot. They are down. So we have 3 smaller sectors down that are a little bit canceled out by some of the other smaller sectors. So we're really just focused on those top few. The last line of defense use it all, so we both say a lot of the same thing. Hey, man, that's good. That means we look at the right price action. That's good. Okay, Isaiah, you're Yobo. I thought so, but I didn't know. Because Joe and Isaiah are like 2 completely different names in my head. I will remember that from now on, though. You will never have to tell me again. BB, I just wanted to say I love the music in the background. It's calming, not too loud or obnoxious. I appreciate that. I did take a little bit of time to find this playlist. My friend Darren linked it to me. I'll probably try to find another one pretty soon, so we have a couple to kind of switch back and forth from. Yo, Nox, the nerdy bicep tagged you. Trade floor.
I gotta do my spot one. Yeah, that's the first one. Or ES or whatever, however you want to put it.
DX Mac with a good scalp as well. Burak with another awesome trade. So many awesome leaders posting. Oh, thank God I told y'all to take profit on Nvidia. I just realized that was happening. Oh my God. AMD's red too. Yeah, watch AMD under 6720s. Keep eyes on Nvidia if they crack 16750s. I am so glad I was telling people to get out of that. Looks like the bear flag's still holding on Apple. They have yet to break back over. Tech sector initially hurting SPY right now. Microsoft's still holding a good spot. All right, so what you need to keep eyes on is Apple, SPY, of course. But if you see Amazon and Tesla start to slow down and break the supports they just broke out above as a resistance, that'll be bad. If Meta returns back down to 136s, Google back down to 96, those will be bad for the comm sector, which can all help bring SPY back down. Yo, good stuff, Rambo. Mental trade. I love that you already took a lot of your bigger trades and now you're just mentally trading. That really does speak a lot about your character, man. You don't just care about the profits, you really do care about the learning process more. Beautiful job, man. Couldn't say it any better myself. Like I said, this community is full of leaders. That's what I want to see. SPY still getting some buyers. See if they break that high of day. I guess just a coincidence. It's not really a normal statistic, Miles. I'd have to go with the ladder on that one. I was able to close my Nvidia call for a small profit and not selling at a loss thanks to your analysis. Awesome, Abe. I'm so happy to hear that. And yeah, I'm glad you got out too, because that was a pretty nasty drop by semiconductors. I do see them turning back green. I see Apple and Microsoft still trying to hold, so it's not like we're totally screwed yet. Tesla, Amazon still holding, Meta holding, so we're not getting that reversal quite yet.
Coming up to that yesterday high. Microsoft coming back up. Apple finally getting out of the dumps.
And that was weird. You said that, and as you said yesterday high, hybrid cowboy typed SPY touching yesterday high. Like as you said that, I read it. That was weird.
I mean, we're saying the same thing at the same time. But yeah, Google's still holding up. Tesla had a nice retest of the yesterday high, so see if it pops that previous intraday high, because that is a very nice retest.
SPY into the previous day high. You love to see it. Can we get past it? Can we hold above it? I'd love to see Apple pop 135.30s. I'd love to see Microsoft continue holding and bounce above 237.20s. This could definitely help out SPY. Tesla still holding very well. Keep eyes above 131.50s for new high of day. Amazon, keep eyes above yesterday high. As resistance or support, Soul Midnight? After 152 votes, 44 minutes, 46% of everybody in here says we're going to close green today. 31% say red, 23% say flat. Good stuff, Deep. And that's how it should be. One and done. Feel free to take mental trades after that now. But if you can't control yourself, step away. Beautiful job, though, man. Very happy to hear about your gains. Shrug.
Rejecting here so far off that yesterday high. Meta didn't get up and break out again. XOM kind of looking weak. Google not very good push there on that candle. Apple already slowing down right at that opening price. Microsoft did not take out 237, coming back towards 236. I gotta put a new playlist on.
Playlist? What kind of playlist you got?
I just got this one. Okay, right now I just put this one on
here. Mel, just red. Good to hear, Hybrid. I like to hear this, man. We're all like on the same picture. It is a sign. It's a sign that we're going crazy. Is there a place we can post charts? Yes, there is. I'll show you real quick. My bad, Devin. Let me just show him this real quick.
You're good. I don't have anything good to say anyways.
So you can post in charts by members. This is a big channel I let everybody post in. Devin has a Nickelback playlist. Trade floor is open to everybody as well. Trade results open to everybody. Those are 3 channels that are free.
It's just creeping up a little bit, but not too much action on them. Not selling off, so that helps buy. Netflix still holding a pretty overall tight range. But potential bigger moves still happened on that one.
Thank you, Jack. No problem, GS Gill. Feel free to post your ideas, your thoughts, any questions, anything you want. Just don't be toxic. Big thing with me is just be positive, be uplifting, help other people. Other people will gladly help you. Add your 2 cents onto people's TA. You know, don't be toxic, but positive, be uplifting. That's what my whole community is about. Mature, positive, uplifting. We don't want anything else. Which I'm sure you are. I just wanted to say it again.
Working its way out of the dumps, coming up a little bit, getting over 135. See if we can get over 135.50 towards 136 now. That's a holding the 131 level.
Apple Pop, good call out Rambo, good call out Mac. Good morning, Peter. Always happy to see you. What app are we using for our charts? This is Thinkorswim by TD Ameritrade. Apple trying to invalidate that resistance. This is good for bulls if they can get over and hold. Microsoft at a double top resistance. Keep eyes on that. Amazon still pulling back. Tesla's at resistance of 131.50s, also double topping, similar to Microsoft. Meta slowing down. Google pulling back even more now after slowing down. They got good volume stepping in.
We're giving us a wick towards that pre-market low. See if we're going to hold it. Oh. Losing a little bit more. It's breaking that pre-market high now. See if we're going to crack that towards opening price. XOM's currently trying to hold opening price, come back towards pre-market high. Pretty tight range on XOM today. Still in between those levels, has not broken out.
Apple's still rejecting.
Amazon wicking off that pre-market high now. See if that's going to continue back up, making a nice range in between that pre-market high and yesterday high on Amazon. Looking very similar to Tesla.
Very strong rejection on Apple here. Is Mel going to be correct and it's not a pop? We're getting a drop. I read your message, Mel. I read everyone's messages. Have a great day, Mac. I can't wait to see on Twitter what you ended up doing, man. Have a great rest of your day, boss. BA increasing seller volume about to reach previous day low. You know me, Wag. I hate drawing trend lines, but this does have a little bit of a kind of falling wedge look to it. I saw that, Wag. I see why you're saying never mind. It happens. Sent it on Twit. I'll check it out. Apple, sorry, got a good close over the 135.28 with rising volume. So pretty good close over, giving Apple a chance of reaching previous day highs. Not a bad trade there, especially if you keep your stop loss at 135. But not a huge breakout, just a good close over. What you want to see now is a continuation on Apple, Microsoft, and a couple other charts for everything to continue higher. But that's really good, though. Apple's at least trying to get over a good level. We'll see if they can continue holding. I do like that initial hold over, though, so far. Meta still pulling back. Is Amazon doing that, too? Nope, they slowed down finally. They didn't even keep breaking base. Tesla and Amazon are holding up very well.
Netflix is coming down towards that pre-market low, though, previous intraday low. So that's definitely helping Meta come down.
Ooh, nice mental trade. Jack on Boeing. Good job. That's a rough chart to look at today, too, so good job visualizing that. VIX is dumping hard. Volatility dropping off a cliff. Figuring if Google to 96.50, 96 hold, and market holds up. I look at 97 call mental trade. Good job, Max, kind of pointing it out to yourself before doing anything, giving yourself that preparation. SPY futures building energy for a retest of the highs. Hey, Jack, I see you with the fibs. Indecisive price action above the 390.50s on SPY. Apple stepping in some sellers here. We'll see if they can hold or not. Microsoft still holding a double top. Amazon building really good base in between a really tight range between that 94.90 and previous day high. Tesla holding in between 130-150 and their previous day high. Q's rejecting 50 SMA daily, 277.88. If we break down below 9 SMA, below 277, we could go red. Good call out. Thanks again for the BB system. 12% scalp. Beautiful job, Miles. Hit that like button, guys, please. Hey, Miles, I'm just happy you got your trade in, man. Good stuff. Be sure to review. Give yourself that after effect of it as well. And what I mean by that is it's awesome to kind of look at something beforehand, prepare yourself, take the trade, no hesitation, and then afterwards review. You get the full 3-step process of your trade before, during, and after, giving you better kind of visualization of what you've done. Then you can focus on trying to repeat that.
Meta coming down a little bit more. So I'm still not doing too much. Same with the financials.
SPY still holding a key area. It's really 390 that they need to hold. Basically, as long as they hold 390, they should be short-term bullish. And I say that because that's today's open. And if I mark this right here, you can see it's also where price pushed above it and held above it to move higher. So as long as they hold this yellow line, you should be looking for short-term bulls. If that breaks, you should be looking for short-term sellers. And I say short-term because it's just one signal. What you need is a break of 391.10 to the upside or a break of 388 to the downside. So this is all still an inside of the range type trade. So short-term is what you should be looking for. Have a good day, DX Mac. Thanks for tuning in. Good morning, Bueller and all. A lot of 9 to 5 work, but still studying. Glad to hear, Hector. Glad to hear you're still hard at work.
Also coming back towards that yesterday high, pre-market high here, and see if we're going to break that area. Met him pushing down lower. Google back at pre-market high. Microsoft's trying to hold that yesterday high. Oh, Apple holding the pre-market low. Quite a bit of decreasing volume across the board right now.
If you get ads, you can turn on an ad blocker or just skip them. They are skippable. Good morning, good morning. Low volume. Nice Tesla for another 30% short. That's how I do it. Good stuff, Mel. Round of applause to Mel Mossad. Again, the legend in the making, Mel. Good stuff, Mel. Really, shout out to you, man. You really do type out a lot of your plays, and you talk about when you're in, when you're not. Where's your stop? You haven't got ads at all this morning. It's different for everybody. And it's nothing I can control. Some people have ad blockers, some people don't. It just really depends on what you're running. Huh. That's weird. Yeah, I don't know then. It must be like a location thing then. Not quite sure how it works. I just know if you have an ad blocker, if you have YouTube Premium, you pretty much never have to worry about ads. I think it's just your cell service dropping the stream. Ah, that sucks. GS, when you joined, I actually thought it was this Gary that joined. Because your name's Gary in there as well. I thought it was Gary Harrod that joined. Apple's still battling 135. SPY really hasn't moved much since it got up here. Lowering volume like crazy. Especially across the last 4 candles. Since we made our high of day basically and had that rejection with an indecisive high volume, not long-legged doji, because it's not a doji, but you do have a long-legged small body candle, which can be indecisive. For real, Jack. If I'm paying for this, I better not get any ads. I'm not sure, Finite. I really am not sure. I just wake up, click YouTube, start stream. Apple's struggling.
That's a losing yesterday high. Pre-market coming down to the pre-market high area right underneath.
Amazon too. They're trying to reject and continue lower from that consolidation. Amazon and Tesla might be bringing us back down here in a minute. If they can break lower. Tesla needs to break 129.80s. Amazon needs to break, if it'll load, this little base here. It's not really a set level. It needs to break this level, but it needs to essentially break where all these wicks keep testing as support. So you might be seeing Apple or Amazon and Tesla bring us back down. Apple and Microsoft already showing weakness. You just need comms and discretionary to pick back up on weakness to really show a pullback on SPY. Healthcare's still flat from where it was earlier. You got a Palantir ad? I didn't even know they did ads. That's funny. Palantir is actually a super slept on company. I've always said if you see them under $6 a share, that's a really good average. Which they've only dipped under that for a little bit, but at the low part of this chart, it's very good risk reward for this chart for a long-term holding. Palantir is a very strong company. You've only had Palantir ads? That's wild. Sophie as well. I'm not surprised about Sophie, however you want to pronounce it. They do have a ton of ads. Even just watching like football or watching sports, SoFi is everywhere. SoFi Stadium, you got all the ads around that. It's crazy. But ads are a really good way of all these companies getting their name out there. And you got to remember, too, ads aren't really meant to get you on a one-time sale. What ads are very important for is keeping their name out there. I mean, you're all going to know who Home Depot is. You're all going to know who Burger King is. Because even if you don't go there, you're still going to recognize the name and know who they are because you hear their name all the time. That is essentially the true idea behind ads. It's not even just for sales or for marketing. That is marketing, but it's to really kind of keep your name stuck in everyone's head. They must know I keep averaging down on PLTR. Auto trader ads. Tesla breaking down, could call it by mini. They just need to crack that support. They have failed to hold under so far. Same for Amazon. They're getting another wick. Microsoft pulling back up, erasing some of its recent weakness. We'll see if it can make that new high of day. SPY taking its time. Of course, there's a lot of sectors trying to reaccumulate or just trying to figure out where they want to go, and that's, of course, reflecting on SPY being so indecisive after it cracked above today's open. Really good initial bounce. I saw a few of you guys take good scalps on that, as we showed on stream. From there, though, there's not been much. Oh yeah, FTX had a crazy amount of. And didn't they have a Super Bowl thing? I mean, they literally had Tom Brady. You know, they had tons of people doing FTX ads all over different sports. That was a little effed up. Not just a little effed up. That's very effed up.
Well, coming back up to retest that yesterday high, previous intraday high. Looks like Microsoft still holding support. XOM's holding.
Mental trading is the best, man. Really helps with building confidence. Facts, dude. It's so good. That's why I don't understand why people sleep on it so much. I mean, I know why. It's because at first when you start to mental trade, you're like, well, this isn't fun. This isn't exciting. There's not as much emotion behind it. You know, you don't have that thrill inside of it. But mental trading is needed to grow, to move forward. Come on, SPY. Give us a breakout. Give the stream what they want. Yeah, stay very clear of those crypto auto traders. Good warning.
Like Meta getting some buyers coming back up to yesterday high.
I'll link you the playlist.
About 2 minutes. Good.
The song that's on now, Anna, is December 9th.
Got about 2 minutes to the next 30-minute candle, 10-minute candle on the market. We're in the same position almost as the last 30-minute candle close, so we'll see what happens.
Buyers have rising volume on SPY 5-minute. And they're wicking back down. A lot of sellers at this previous day high. Nox, I'm glad to see you get hyped like I do. When that song pops up. There's still nothing more tough than that one playlist we used to use with that one, it was like Trap Christmas. That was a pretty crazy song. Whoever bought up Boeing earlier, we are 20 minutes later from when I drew that, and we are still holding that potentially falling wedge, which mostly leads bullish. But again, you guys know me, I don't like to sit here and say, oh, it's a falling wedge, get calls. Like, no, there's been plenty of times where we see a falling wedge fail. Be very careful with that, but we definitely have some buying pressure picking up here with that rising volume candle right there in that previous 5-minute. Jack also posted it on Trade Floor. Good job, man. That is awesome, Freedom. Very happy to hear that. Feels good to be synced up and kind of on the same page. Kind of gives you confirmation that, hey, I'm doing something right, or hey, I'm doing this correctly on how we're supposed to do it. Apple getting some buyers. Yep, good call out. Apple getting some buyers.
Previous intraday high here. See, we're going to get pop up with some volume. Microsoft, Meta coming back up, helping out. XOM creeping up a little bit. Got to pop this previous intraday high. Popping previous intraday high on SPY, getting a little bit of volume on short-term time frame, see if that comes over. Need Microsoft to pop 237. Need Amazon to get over 95.40. Tesla coming back up off that pre-market high yesterday high area. See how much of a leg we get here on SPY.
Good call out Mini. Good call out Isaiah. Tesla getting a good bounce out of good area. They failed to close under. Man, I like this purple a lot more. Good job on Microsoft, everybody. That was such a clean pullback. If you go from the point of the initial breakout to that first high, they held the golden pocket to the cent since they built a higher low, and they're getting more buyers stepping in. So even if it doesn't continue higher, still nice to see that golden pocket hold like that. Very clean. Apple breaking, trying to get rising volume. Not quite there yet, but they're trying. Apple is about to, SPY is also about to. They need a little bit more.
New highs on SPY.
BA trying to exit the little wedge we talked about. Next level above here is 392.60s. Oh, I see, Hybrid. You're doing both sides. Good stuff. Nvidia, AMD both picking back up after they failed to make those new lows. Google's still pulling back from the big jump in their pre-market and rally after the market opened. Meta bouncing, Tesla bouncing, Amazon bouncing, Microsoft new high of day. Apple trying very hard to hold over 135.30s. See if SPY can hold this breakout. Got 45 seconds. Good eye, Nicholas. I was wondering if anybody was going to say that. Good eye.
Yeah, Freddie calling out a pretty good point on ES. If you can get over that level, it's gonna really get SPY flying. 39.50. Still quite a bit of room to it.
Noxta. Finally.
5-10 minute get increase in buyer volume here as we're over the yesterday high. 5 minutes still left on this candle.
Hey, can't beat yourself up, Nick. What's Thanos up to?
Messing with this puppy.
Thanos could eat that puppy. SPY 392.15, the 200 EMA on 6 minute, then 392.80 next pivot point, then 393, 393.40 final target, then 395 as the major psychological level. Good call outs. Yeah, it's good to point that out. Even if we don't rally, it's smart to point that out because imagine if you think, oh, we're going to reverse here and you don't put any targets above and then it ends up rallying and you're like, oh crap, what's up here? You know, so it's always good to plan it regardless of how we think. Normal seller reaction to the pop, still holding calls. Good eye, Josh. Yeah, we'll see if they can hold over 391.08. And if they can, we should get a good pop to the upside. So we'll see if sellers want to, or if buyers want to maintain control over 391.08. Big key level here.
It's on that yesterday high. Trying to get it. See if they'll help out Tesla. And SPY, exit went popping. It's pre-market high. It got yesterday high right above, so it's helping out SPY. Financials coming up slightly, not selling off, so that helps, but not too much movement on those. Pushing back up, taking out some nice size on here on the time and sales. Pushing a new high right here. See if we can get it going. Microsoft pushing new high. Amazon touching over that yesterday high. XOM almost at that yesterday high 112. Helping SPY get a push.
An hour later, 180 votes, 50% saying green, 29% say red, 21% say flat.
Microsoft getting over that 237. See if we're going to hold. Amazon pushing higher over yesterday high. Got a minute left on this 10-minute candle. I just can't get the steam the rest of the market's getting right now. It's wicking down. Exxon's about to pop that yesterday high. Google's not getting too much going. Neither is Meta. Microsoft just slow pushing over 237 right now. Couple cents.
Still a good hold over 391.08. Good little reset candle here.
Microsoft pushing a little bit higher. Amazon pushing a little bit higher. Tesla coming up. SPY pushing new high on day. XLM's breaking that yesterday high. Financials coming up towards their yesterday high with Berk Bees coming towards its yesterday high. JPM coming up towards its pre-market high. SPY pushing.
Dude, Amazon's on fire today.
Yeah, Amazon getting over 95. Tesla coming up. Meta's starting to get some buyers now. Google a little bit of green candle. See if Apple can break this previous intraday high. It'd really help out, get us a little bit more. Futures still need to break the 39.50 level. Getting pretty close.
Minnie asks if you're asking about XLM or XLN.
It's XOM.
XOM, Exxon.
ExxonMobil.
Which he's calling that out because it's a very big energy ticker.
And it's like one of the bigger energy tickers on the SPY way, as it's helping SPY rally right now as it's breaking its yesterday high. Berk Bees also at its yesterday high, so that could also help a little bit get us to 392. ES is at that 39.50. See if we push through.
If you guys are any SPY plays, you could take initial profits here as you're $1 past breakout range. 392.60s is still in sight. Oh, did it knock still? I'll go check it out. Oh, yeah, I can instantly see it. Got your low, got a good higher low, a base of that higher low, and then rising volume literally all the way out of that. Beautiful. Good eye. Again, even if you miss the opportunity, it's nice to see it. Boeing destroying that falling wedge. Send this so Jack can see it. I'm sure he sees it, though. Oh, I can't just type Jack. I gotta type wacko first. There we go. Yeah, you know what's cool about that little 3-bar play too, Isaiah? You probably saw me do it for like a split second. I didn't really want to sit there and comment on it because it was still pushing, but if you go from point of the breakout of 391.08 to the high of this move, and then you see the slowdown, it actually held the control point with the meat and held the golden pocket with the low. So it actually was a perfect little 3-bar play. These are the candles that screw people because they see this breakout and they get into calls. They see this candle, they're like, oh my god, I gotta exit, and that's it. They end up cutting for small losses. For somebody who has a trained eye with fibs on how I use them, you go from the point of the breakout to the point of the high before it slows down, and then you see the slowdown try to hold that area, and if it does, then you can look out for a continuation. Very clean movement, Isaiah.
Microsoft pushing higher. XLM still pushing. Tesla creeping.
A little bit of a channel up on Apple. Microsoft's really doing a lot of the work today. I would say Microsoft, Amazon, Tesla. Of course, you have Netflix.
Netflix creeping back up to pre-market high.
All out of calls here on SPY. It's looking double topish, but forever. Who's still in it? Gonna rip, don't worry. Oh, for whoever, my bad. 100% Isaiah. Mm, 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 mm. 40% on a 0 TTE 3-bar play. No degen stuff anymore. Good stuff, Garov. Sorry if I said your name wrong. Pretty cool name, though. We had one trade idea on NVIDIA. I'm glad we got out of that quick. It seems to have worked out anyway, though. So even if you got trapped, seems to have worked out. And then SPY above 391.08. These are two trade ideas I've talked about today. I cannot take credit on anything else. I've just been updating other charts. 7% on the port break of the 391.08 with volume. Wow, you got 7% of your portfolio on that break. Beautiful job, Ace. Ace Ventura really coming through. Those movies are amazing. The Pet Detective. Like a glove.
Microsoft, Amazon, and XOM just slowly chugging up here. Meta's right at that previous intraday high. It needs to pop that. Google's trying to get back over pre-market high. Still has 98 above.
Oh, good point, Isaiah. I like how you pointed out what a good stop loss would have been.
New 10-minute candle on SPY quickly tested a new high and wicked it instantly.
Giving everybody a second opportunity to take profits, $1 past the breakout. Yeah, and I see a couple of you guys talking about how to enter your options faster on TOS. If you want a really solid video, go to username NF channel. He's on my channel section. His very first video covers this, setting up active trader on TOS for trading options. Should show you right here. Yeah, he shows you everything.
Let's see, that was my TP.
Super listenable voice too.
You know, I can scoot it around like that.
Look how deep his voice is.
So the templates are interesting. So it defaults at single, but you can set up your own templates. I set all these up myself. You can also delete them. But so it lets you set them up, and I like for instant.
But yeah, we definitely check that video out if anybody's looking to trade options on Active Trader. Probably the best explanation I've seen on it.
XOM seems to be the only thing still pushing new highs here.
Dude, it really is ASMR when you listen to Username's video. Dude, Isaiah, I can't find the DM for you, but that is literally word for word what I said. I said he has like a smooth jazz radio kind of voice. All his videos are so good. Leland's too. I need to promote that real quick. Another awesome video by Leland. A lot of my channels that I mention are people who are, I'm not going to say under me, but people who are within my community. And Leland posted another one 16 hours ago. Just be sure to check this out as well. He has amazing breakdowns. He'll show you everything you need to see, everything you need to look at, entry, exit, stop loss, what you need to see for confirmations, what's good, what's bad. And he deserves way more than 106 subscribers. I would definitely check out my homie Leland. Username can get it. Sinful. I like how we're messaging on like 2 different apps at the same time. Big brain. AMD hit the 200 EMA on the 3-minute rejected, which lines up with the 100 SMA daily. Also key level right there. Good call out hybrid.
XOM still pushing higher, 20 cents off 113. Tesla creeping back up towards that previous intraday high. See if it takes it out towards 132. Berk B back at that yesterday high area. Still looking pretty weak. They're having a hard time taking out his previous intraday high, but still holding above the yesterday high. Looking for it to break out of that range.
My daughter just texted me 100% on exempt third-year dentistry. Wow, congratulations, Mel. Hey, no big deal, Noxta. Right now we're focused on limiting ourselves. Props to you. Jack, look for the retracement.
All right, coming back up close to that high day.
Might just see a slow push up to 392.60s before a reversal.
He's trying to re-get that yesterday high, helping SPY push this new high day. XOM still pushing up. Soft making a new high, helping us out. XOM about to touch 113. That's a nice move on that. Dollar move since yesterday high. Now we're looking at 114 on XOM. The very, very dreaded level it has not been able to seem to get over. But if it gets over 114, this is a rule of 5 here on recent time frame. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is be the fourth time or fifth time XOM's hit 115. So potentially setting us up something good. Keep an eye on that one.
Jack. Video 172 area looking like previous support. Good call out. I want to thank everyone in you and Bueller for allowing me to share my thoughts and ideas. It really helps me to talk out my trades and warms my heart. If I'm helping anyone, my goal is only to make... That's good, man. That's what we're here for. You're in the perfect place. And thank you, Hybrid, because I appreciate the positive reinforcement you give people. I appreciate the updates, the messages. I appreciate it all. You're the kind of person I want in here.
New intraday high on Amazon. Q's pushing higher. SPY pushing higher.
Good call out, Freddie.
92.60. Berk B pushing really good over yesterday high.
What's Exxon doing again?
All right, it's almost hit 113. Dollar push over yesterday high. So with it, 114 will be the fifth time it's tested in the 10-minute chart on recent time frame. So if you can get over that 114, it'll be a good move.
All right, guys, we are less than 20 cents. We are about 20 cents away from the target hitting.
Be pushing another new high, helping us out. Microsoft, Amazon. See if Tesla can pop and make a new high on the day. It's getting pretty close. Apple coming back up. See if it can get over 135.60. Going back up to 136.
Beautiful breakout. Beautiful. So damn beautiful. Now, if you guys are exiting your plays here, I would be looking to just kind of chill out for a bit. Wait to see if another setup occurs. Because you've already gotten a really good breakout after our initial dip this morning. So that was very, very strong. They held today's open. They pushed through 391.08. Rising volume. Got a good hold of a single reset candle. And they've just been kind of pushing up slowly ever since then. Took them 20, 25 minutes to get back up there.
Nobody called it out, but I'm looking at it now in the 30-minute. We 3-bar played on spot right through that yesterday high.
Yeah, I was only calling out a 5-minute 3-bar play. That's impressive.
Yeah, if you want to pull that 30-minute chart up, it looks pretty good.
Oh, yeah. Clean as hell. If you go from open of that candle to the top of that, they held the halfway point to the cent. Very clean. Good eye. Yeah, I didn't look at the 30-minute at all today, I don't think. Which normally I like to make a habit of looking at it more because the 30-minute is so just passive. It's so good to look at. All done for the day, guys. Thanks for an awesome week. Have a great rest of your weekend, Big Lou. Thanks for tuning in. Good job, Gaurav.
Microsoft's still chugging up over that. It's $1.20 over 137. Looking good. Bird Beast still just chugging along. Another intraday high.
Same for Microsoft.
XM slowed down at that 113. It did have a pretty nice move, so look for it to come down towards that yesterday high and hold support and potentially come back up. Or even use 112.50 as a nice little area.
For real, Isaiah, you and me were just talking about the 5-minute one. That 30-minute one's impressive. Exactly, Freddie. A nice little trend day.
No, Freddie, I have no idea who that guy is. I think the 3-bar play is probably just one of the more standard plays that have been around since trading's been trading.
Yeah, 3-bar play was not invented by anyone from from one single person. 3-bar plays are just a normal piece of price action. It's not really fair. It's not fair for anybody to say I started calling out 3-bar plays. No, you didn't.
There's tons of variations of 3 and 4-bar plays, you know. So
on every time frame too.
Yeah. We just like the one that holds the 50% control point because that's the most bullish. There's still some 100% retest 3-bar plays that can play out, but those just aren't as high probability.
That'd be like me trying to say I invented the pre-market system. Like, no, I just incorporated it. Not a single person invented the 3-bar play or the pre-market system. It's been part of the market for a very long time. If you really want to give anybody credit for price action, you should thank the Japanese rice traders from back in the day. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you should look that up. Look up the Japanese rice traders and how they incorporated and invented the candlesticks. They invented how candlestick patterns work, the psychology behind them, the rules behind them. Check it out, though. It's really cool. They used to physically build candlesticks because they didn't have charts. There weren't charts back then when there was rice trading. There was just prices. They would go down and they would mark what happened that day in that price action. Like, how did they open? What did they close? What was the high? What was the low? And they would focus on that, and they would use these patterns to help distinguish what was a good buying opportunity, what was a good selling opportunity, what was a good time to just kind of chill, wait. I have talked about it before. It's a super insane concept. Once you read it, you're like, no way this is how this happened. So if you want to give anybody credit for any price action, the Japanese rice traders are who you should be thanking. They are the first person in human history to do what they did. And we still follow a lot of those concepts to this day. And that was 100+ years ago. So shout out to the Japanese. This is why we play Japanese lo-fi. Exactly. See, now you're getting it. Can't fight the Japanese, man. You do not fight them. You will lose every time. And no, fair enough, Freddie. If he has posted tons of videos, awesome. You know, credit to him. That's great. I was just letting you know, we are very open-minded here. But that's cool, though. I mean, it's good to hear somebody's focused on it. I mean, it's a really good strategy to focus on. Super high probability, especially when the parameters work out. The Wall Street movie has 0 candlesticks in the movie. Japan was always ahead of the game. Facts. I like the names Marabuzo. Yeah, and they used to call it not the harami. It used to be I don't know what the Japanese term is for it, but a word for harami was pregnant baby. So whatever that was, that's what it is.
Wow.
Because essentially, like, this is a harami. Like, let's say you have a big jump. You have a lower open and a small body candle. If you flip it upside down, it almost looks like a pregnant woman. Like that's her. This is her belly. That's why they call it that. I know, I'm amazing at explaining things like that. I have no clue how you say hammers or tweezers in Japan. But I promise you, a lot of what price action is today, Fibonacci, candlestick patterns, a lot of this stuff comes from Japanese rice traders. That's another one too, hybrid trading. Fibonacci, it's a pretty crazy. That's what it is called, Noxta. I'm not trying to be weird. That is what it's called. They also created manga. Oh, dude, yeah. Don't even get me started. Anime is the best. The names on candlesticks also got originated because it was during war. Oh, nice.
All right, slowing down again here. Meta couldn't break out. Google coming back. Tesla couldn't break out. Bert B retesting yesterday high. It's like coming back down towards that yesterday high. Apple's still being weak, never got going. Apple's really been the dumper today, not helping SPY out. Apple would have been running, SPY could have got really going today.
It is, Gary. You're 100% in thinking that way. That's exactly how that works. Yeah, SPY puts, Mel, have way better risk reward here than calls. Keeping your stop at 392.50, 392.65 area. Gojo Sensei, then he tagged me as well. Damn, 30%. Good stuff, D-Touch. He got 30% on his SPY calls. Beautiful job, man. Yes, Sam Ram. Key level above is 69, below 6850s. They look like they're coming back down to test the 6850s area where they initially broke out from after all this consolidation. They had really big trouble with their today's open, as you can see. They traded all around it all day long. Finally got a good candle past all the wicks, and they finally got back above the 6850s. Didn't quite make it to 69, though.
Lots of good trade reviews today. Leland's showing a perfect example why it's good to cut your losers short and let your winners run. He had that first red trade, but then came back and killed it with Tesla. I think too many people get tied up with that first trade trying to make it the home run every day.
It's funny as you say that. I've been working with someone a lot closer, and they just posted a trade review in chat, and they took their contract from 0.52 to 1.11, and all they did was use the breakout of today's open on SPY, and then sold right under 392.65. So they held for 5, 10, 15, 20. An hour and 15 minutes to make over 100%. That was a beautiful trade. Hell of a hold. That was a hell of a hold.
Diamond hands going on.
For real.
Trade plan helping out.
Good job, Jeff. I saw you post that. That's the same one I've been posting too. That's the only one I've read. It's the only one anyone needs to read, really. But thank you for posting that, Jeff. I appreciate you. Good pullback from Mel so far. If I go from point of breakout to the high of that move, they're testing the halfway point in the golden pocket. So that needs to break, and then Mel can take profits towards 391. If it bounces, we cut. Mel can cut at high of day or 392.60. I'm sure that's what's going through his head. We should get Mel in the live stream one day.
Celebrity guest Mel. Meta pulling back some more off of that rejection of previous intraday high, but still above yesterday high. Apple's coming towards that pre-market low.
Somebody charged you $500 for a free PDF that anyone can find online.
Which one?
Dear Lord.
On
the free channel. The Japanese book I was talking about. That's dumb. Dude, please tell me who charged you. I will come after them with all my might. mean, it's not your fault, Jeff. Some evil people out there. That's wild, though, dude. That is just so messed up. 4 years ago, still, dude, that's fucked up. $500, a lot of money.
Goldman Sachs is getting some investigation by the SEC or whoever covers them, the Feds.
I post just like talking. I appreciate that, Mel. Yo, Ruben.
I know a guy who knows a guy who likes to do stuff.
Is Burke B reacting to GS at all?
No, it's drifting up. JPM's coming down a little bit, but Berkby is relatively strong. Goldman Sachs has got the couple different scandals. The Epstein Island people suing them. Then they got the FTX stuff. So Goldman Sachs is definitely probably going to be paying out some money.
That's wild. I mean, I'm not surprised the Fed's investigating Goldman Sachs, but that's crazy. Goldman Sachs is huge.
I forget which government filed that big old lawsuit, but yeah, one of those governments filed against Goldman Sachs for the Epstein Island. Netflix still in a pretty tight range, so see if it's going to break out of it. If it does, it's going to be setting up great for next week. I can already tell you now, Netflix after the ER is one of my favorites to trade. It usually gets a nice little couple weeks of traction, so we're paying attention to that.
Yeah, don't mess with Ruben. That dude's got 3 different colored track suits. Red, blue, and yellow. Yeah, GS, that's probably the way to look at it, too. I didn't guess that. You scared me one day. You sent me your closet. You said, don't mess with me. And the picture was just 36 tracksuits in one closet. All categorized by color. He even categorizes the hanger color.
And brand separation, too.
No,
no.
They're all Adidas. They're all Adidas.
No, you got the Puma. You got to get the Pumas in there, man. The Puma tracksuit.
All of us got skeletons in our closet. Ruben's got tracksuits. No, the chains were not in the picture. Divert. That's just from point of breakout to high of day. 391.08 up to the high of day. It's the main way I draw my fibs. I don't really use fibs in any other way. Some pullbacks maybe, but I really like to do it on open range breakouts to see when it does pull back, what's the important area to watch. You'll notice a lot of bounces come from these areas. You'll notice you end up getting a bounce to a lower high and then sellers take it over. But this is the key area for short-term control.
Eric B coming back down under that yesterday high. Netflix drifting towards that previous intraday low area. Yeah, still just trying to battle up here. Microsoft still holding up. Amazon holding up above that yesterday high. Tesla still holding up. Hasn't broken out of this range since the first move.
No problem, Divert. You probably just didn't see me draw it when I did it. It's totally fine. That's the main way I draw my fibs, though. How did BA do? I never went back. Okay, wow, they held really good base. We did another fib. See, this is like another fib. I went from base of this move to the high of that move, and then I drew that to see, okay, where can they pull back to? Right now, we just have a lower high so far, but it does look good for possibility for more upside on BA. SPY looks a little tired. Apple broke uptrend.
U-Haul's back at yesterday high, Josh.
Oh, the UHAL?
Yeah.
God, those smaller time frames are so ugly. The bigger time frame's nice, though.
The pops that do, that's going to be nice.
We talked about this yesterday in Power Hour. We talked about it this morning. We got the higher open, and we've re-completed that gap fill and made it to the top of 392.20. So that's a good little rejection from a good spot.
It's sideways in another move in Power Hour.
Oop, I'm missing a few messages. Whoops. Take your time, Divert. Definitely don't rush yourself. Thank you for teaching us all. It is so awesome to be here. I missed the comment on what is and how you calculate the blue zone on your SPY chart. I'll re-explain it. I go from the point of the breakout, 391.08, to the high of that move, right? Which I only know that when this candle is created and doesn't really go much higher. then I see this candle form. So it's a really good idea to mark that because you can see it starts to slow down a little bit. So it's good to go from point of breakout to the high and then mark that halfway point mixed with your golden pocket. So you get a little good range for possibility of a bounce, or you get a good range where you can look for a continuation down, for a larger pullback. But that's how I got that. Guys, I've been bouncing around various spaces, YouTube live streams. Very happy I found this community. Good to see the camaraderie and the commentary and, of course, the education. I appreciate that, GS. And yeah, I like it. Me and Devin just chilling in here. A lot of you guys bouncing ideas off of us and vice versa. I love the teamwork we have with our community here.
Soft being real strong. About to try to make a new high on the day.
All right, guys. Well, let's talk about SPY one more time, and then I'm going to end the stream there. We're going to be looking at SPY to either hold this and bounce and retest today's high with the possibility of breaking 392.60s, which they have 394 above, so be very careful of that. It's a good thing we defended the 388s today because the 386s are very crucial. If we end up losing this, we will have a larger pullback. If we end up holding this, there's a good chance we maintain bullish for a little while, so that's good. So it's good we made this retest here at 388 on the smaller time frame first. So besides that bounce and the upside, you can also lose this area and we'll possibly retest 391. So this is a good play. This is a good play. Outside of that, you have to be very careful. They might want to retest today's open if they do break this and break under 391. So keep your eyes on the today's open. If we do get that larger pullback, that will be a key area to sell off towards if that ever happens today. Again, just pointing out the what ifs. And then on the bigger time frame, you can see, and I pretty much just explained this, but just to go over it again, we pretty much had the higher open after this kind of 50-50 candle at support. Like I said, if we had the lower open, there's a good chance we crack 388.40s and retest that important 386.25, which if you want to know why that's important, it's the resistance of the 13 to almost 14-day consolidation period we experienced a couple weeks ago. So we've had that there for a while. They failed to break under it, but if they would have broken it, we'd be testing that today. We didn't. We got the higher open, low volume, bullish relief bounce really. So next week, we need to pay attention to see, can we get this push over 392.20s? And if we can, then we're probably going to go retest 399.40 at least. If we do not get this push from here, we have to assume that we're going to get some consolidation, and then we'll have to look at either side. But the 386.20s and 399.40s are the key areas to look at right now. I'll even color code it. Let's do purple, pink, whatever that is. But that's a good solid level above, a good solid level below. Anything inside of this is consolidation. We've had a good breakout, bullish breakout, a good hold, bullish retest, and a good rejection, which essentially, I'm not even going to sit here and say this is super bearish, because when we covered this, we were covering how it was 50-50. You watch for a higher open to break 400, or you look for a lower open to bring us down. We got a higher open that failed to break 400, rejected, and brought us all the way back down 2 days ago. Yesterday, we had that lower open, smaller day. Still had some really good opportunity yesterday. And today, we had the higher open to fill that overnight gap. So really, any direction is in play again. Whereas before, when we were here or here, we were looking for bulls. When we were here, we're looking for bears. We're kind of back in the 50-50 spot again. So we need to be very careful with what we do next. But that's the TA for the day. I appreciate everybody tuning in. I appreciate everybody dropping their own information. Like Sabrina said, study this weekend. Big time. If you guys need any questions answered, feel free to join the Discord. I'm going to end the poll here. But feel free to join the Discord, ask questions, drop information you're enjoying, drop questions or any answers to any other questions you see anybody asking. And feel free to look around the server, the YouTube, the free server. There's tons of different places anybody can tune in at. But I hope all of you enjoy your 2-day weekend. We do have a full week next week, so be on the lookout for that after this short week that we just had. I don't think we have another day off till February at some point. So we should be good till then. But I'll see you guys later. Thank you guys for tuning in. Me and Devin will see y'all later.